I'm Vin.
I'm Sori.
That's Lavi.
Salty and Chip.
We're about to get up on some In This Moment again. Haven't done that
Sick
song
like me.
since Ladies Week.
Yep. So you haven't done this band, you mean, since
Damn.
Ladies Week. Yeah,
Shout out to
never done
Papa
this song.
John's.
Yeah. Watch the fireside.
If you're in the fireside, then you know. By the way, the brilliant idea of doing live listens in firesides. It's probably not going to happen in the very, very near future. So we did a
Quite possibly ever again.
we did a live listen of a 3-minute instrumental.
Yeah.
And it created 4 hours of work for us because that particular label blocked it worldwide. So the entire 2-hour fireside discussion got blocked. So we were up to literally 4 or 5 in the morning trying to fix that shit.
And they took all the super chat money that people gave
Yeah.
too.
See, that's the thing is like, we had this discussion.
Yeah.
I don't have a problem per se with the record label taking all the, you guys know the story why we don't pause songs in the middle. I do have a problem, and I said to Sori, I said, look, if the label blocks the video so that we can't watch the entire 2-hour video, then YouTube should give the super chat money back to the people that did it. They should say, hey, the thing got blocked, boom.
Right.
To my knowledge, you're not doing that. So that's what pissed me off.
Yeah.
Anyway, we solved the problem. Sori figured out a way to do it because Sori always figures shit out. But anyway, this is... So, live listens...
I don't think that all the super chat money, though, came to us, right? They, split it or something.
The majority of it did.
Yeah, but...
But,
It's not right.
So, this is Sick Like Me In This Moment. Let's do it.
All right. Go.
I
man, they play those instruments hard. I love when people hit the friggin' drums like that. Like, I feel like it, like, gets in my soul. Oh, my word. Oh, my God. You know what? The lyrics is terrible. I love it when something, though, when they mix, like, beauty and destruction together. Anyway,
okay.
This was, like, the vocals and, oh, my word. That drum, oh my word, I couldn't get past the drums. I could have just, oh my word, I felt like they were like beating inside of me. Woo! What? How did you feel? Are you like, meh?
Sonically, it was good.
Oh my word.
Good. Lyrically, fucking nightmare, but sonically, it's good. She's got a very, very, very distinct voice.
Oh my word.
All?
It's
What's
a
all?
desperate sound, man. I love it.
Yeah. You look like you were really enjoying this song.
Oh, I was like holding back. I wanted to dance on this one. This one would have been so like, wow, my word.
Why?
Because like, it's like, there's some songs that you're like, oh, well, whatever. And then there's some like it just like moves you and you like want to like get in, but then you're like, oh, stop. This is reaction. This is not interpretive dance.
I'm sure people would have enjoyed it.
No, I probably would have broke something or knocked something over. It's just, I know better. Anyway, very exciting song. Loved it. Leah, you were completely right. Wow. But terrible what it's talking about. I mean, not healthy as terrible, you know. But there's some truth to it, you know.
What do you mean? What do you think the song is about?
A destructive person and like how, like, well, at the beginning it's saying, like, is it sick of me to need control? So it's like a person that's like controlling. And then, but she's asking the question, like, is it sick of me to be like this? Like, I just want to control you. And then, is it sick to make you beg the way that I do? I don't know what he's begging for, but.
Well, she's the one that's begging.
No.
But.
Is it sick of me to need control of you? Is it sick to make you beg the way I do? She's making him beg.
Well, it could be she's making him beg the way that she has to beg.
What?
That could be.
Is it sick to make you beg the way I do?
The way that I do.
Yeah. Oh.
Could be that.
Oh yeah, yeah.
Contextually, though, I don't think that's what I don't think that's what's happening. I think she's.
Oh, I see. Whoa, that is so weird. That's like the duck rabbit thing. Like,
Yeah.
where you like do them like that.
Yeah.
I was like, whoa, because then I saw it your way and I can see the other way. Now I see what you're saying. Yeah. No, I don't think so, though.
No, I don't. I think
No,
that this
because
is.
it sounds like she's the one that has the control.
I think that this is like the modern day explication of the curse in Genesis.
Oh yeah, you're probably right.
Your desire shall be for your husband, and he shall rule.
And he shall rule over you.
Well, the desire there means the desire to dominate.
Right.
That she would desire to dominate her husband, but that he would win. He would always win that exchange.
And
So
it's like this.
the battle of the sexes that
Yeah.
she had,
Yeah.
as part of the curse
Struggle.
in Genesis. And just for a disclaimer, it's not saying that the husband ruling over her is a good thing. It's saying
Right.
that that's the curse. The curse would be that there would be a battle of the sexes, and that the man would win because men are generally in positions of strength in a given society, whether that's physically, economically, socially, whatever. Mm-hmm. So it generally ends up that men end up in the winning in the bargain.
Mm-hmm.
But do you think that this? I don't know because I'm not a female. Do you think that this is like a latent desire in women to dominate men?
Yeah. Well, the thing is, you come up in like there's a whole system, whether you see the system or you don't see the system, where there is male dominance and men in places of power. And it's been like this throughout, I mean, all generations and different cultures and different societies. And
Right.
I think that it's because if somebody's physically stronger, then more powerful, then you have a position of authority already. You have a certain position that somebody else doesn't. That's why the white men did what they did to the black people, because there was more of them and they had a position of power. So anytime, and I think, honest to goodness, I think that if it was switched and that like women found out like some way to like overpower the world by the power of their womb or something, like I think that we would dominate too. You know what I'm saying? Like if we had something that you guys didn't have and we like dominated the world.
You do have something we don't have.
Yeah, but we don't dominate
carry
the
children.
world. Yes, I know, babe, but we can't overpower the world through that.
Yeah, you can.
Well, yeah, that's
You
long
just give birth to a
term.
bunch of boys.
And teach them. We teach them. I don't know. But like I think that like some people recognize this like system and then they fight against it and become like feminists, hardcore, you know, and stuff like that. And then other people, I think they become like docile underneath it and they just like allow it to, because to fight against it can sometimes be more traumatizing than not fighting against it. Just kind of letting it, and I've seen people in different, you know, different types of relationship where the husband is very dominating and the wife just does whatever she's told to do. And she can be as unhappy as fuck, but she's not going to say anything because she's going to go along with the system. So I think that there are like people that are like, okay, like if you can get like an upper hand on the situation to want to see like that flip. Did that answer the question?
Yeah. It is interesting, the feminine desire to control. Or I mean, it may not be. I'm just saying in relationships, like when dudes do it, it manifests in actual physical danger. Mm-hmm. When women do it, it generally, I'm speaking generalities because I know somebody's gonna message us and go, "My girlfriend tried to kill me," and so did mine. Not this one. But so I get that aspect of it for sure. But it's like because we've had those conversations. I mean, I don't know how much you want to share.
What? Go ahead. No, go ahead.
About like controlling and I mean, sometimes I wonder if men and women are controlling for different reasons. You know what I mean?
Well, I know why I'm controlling. It's for safety. Like I want to feel like I'm safe. So I want things to be a certain way, so that way I know I'm good and I'm safe.
Like safe how?
Well,
what's danger?
Something. I don't want my life to drastically change again. Like that one drastic change, that was enough. So I'm always like, I think that I'm always fearful that there's going to be some other drastic change that I don't see coming, and I want to be prepared for it. So like if stuff just stays, like you're a very like probably if I wasn't like emotionally attached to you, I might be able to see that you have patterns that you do, but like you seem so random to me, you know, like, you know, and it seems so probably like people be like, what do you even care about that? But like even something as small as like some afternoons you'll take a nap, and then other times like you're like up until 6 o'clock, 7 o'clock in the morning. Other times you go to bed at 2. Like there's no, like most people have like a pattern, you know, or you could all of a sudden, you know, you take, you know, 98% of your phone calls you take at your desk, and then randomly you're up, you leave the house, you go out to the car and make this random phone call. Like why? What's going on there? And so that makes me feel uncomfortable and I don't like it. And so and there's always, with you, there's always like some random thing that like nobody could have predicted that was going to happen at that moment. Like I've come home a bunch of times and walked into the room and you've been on calls, right? But then there's this random time where I come in and you're like, I gotta go out of the room, and then you leave the house. Like that's weird. So that like makes a person feel uncomfortable and like why? What is this? Then you come in, there's no discussion, no nothing. Like that's the kind of stuff. So I want to control all those things. Like, well, where's your phone? What's going on? What's this happening? What's happening? Like there's so many things like that where and it like seems like, well, whatever, you know? Like, but I don't like that. I don't like anything random. I don't like anything that I can't understand.
So you like a regular sleep schedule, regular work schedule, everything boom, 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 so you can have the predictability.
Yeah, I like the predictability. And then I want to like I like some random in there, but even the random is, if you know the person, like then you know what the random is or when the random's going to happen. Like the random's not going to happen at 2 a.m. on a Tuesday. If you know like a certain, it's probably going to be, you know, most people, a random, it could be Friday or Saturday night. That's a random for somebody. You know what I'm saying? But you're like there's like
So
these,
it's not really controlling me, it's controlling the situation?
Yeah, just everything around me. Like, I want to be in control. I feel like I'm not in control of anything. Like, I'm a very, meticulous I am about cleanliness. And the kids are just crazy. That apartment and everything is, I just can't control anything. Even my toothbrush. And it starts getting to me. I need to control something. Like, not everything can't just be freaking chaos. And we're just flying through the universe on this green blue ball and flying through our apartment, and everything just feels, sometimes I just feel like everything's, so I need some, like, okay, what's gonna happen? Like, can we have some, so, but I know that I would control everything down to the smallest detail, and then when I do, I'm miserable as hell. And I know that, so I don't know how to find that. And I've talked to you, I've said this before on the thing. I've been like, I've tried to find stuff online, like, if you're a controlling person, like, listen to these steps. I couldn't find anything that was like, of course, I'm not super good at doing research. But all the places I looked, there was nothing on, like, if you're a controlling person, this is how to, like, work around that. It's all, like, if you're being controlled by a controlling person. If there's a controlling person in your life, it's for all the victims. But for us predators, there's nothing there.
Us predators, it's ridiculous. Well, it's so interesting to me because my previous relationship, it was just like a free for all. There was no, like.
I think all of you guys are like that. You, her, the kids, you guys are all like free for all. Nothing is.
Yeah. Yeah, it's just, because when I was coming up, it was like, hey, get in the car, we're moving to another state.
Yeah, we didn't do that.
That was it. We're going to another state. So it's to me, like, I feel very, very, very constricted when there's any like future expectation.
Yeah.
I get very, very like.
Oh, I know. I can see it. I can feel it.
I'm not really a fan of that. But I don't do that with other people. I don't pencil anybody into anything. It's just okay, whatever.
I know. I can't stand that. There we were on the fireside chat.
It's like you would like me to control you.
A little bit, yeah. I mean, not completely. Like, I kind of like the freedom, but at the same time, like
the freedom.
Yeah. Because you basically, I can do whatever I want. Like.
Really?
Yeah.
As if you were an adult. Even.
Stop it. As if, like, I don't know. But I mean, you still have stuff you're like, if I'm gonna head out of the house to go do something, you still want to know like what's going on. Like, I don't even think that's like where you go.
I didn't even know that you left the house today.
What do you mean?
That's why I texted you. I said, "Where are you?"
We talked about it. You said go get that stuff for her. What are you talking about?
Well, yeah, but I never knew. You didn't tell me when you were leaving. That's why I messaged you. I'm like, yo.
You said go right now and fix her problems by buying her candy.
No, I did not say that.
You basically said something like that.
Anyway, no, I don't ask you before you go anywhere.
I'm saying you're not like, oh, I want to know what's going on or whatever. But I think that like emotionally, like you like to know like if I'm gonna be gone, so that way you can. So I'm not like.
Well, I was calling you for something. I wanted to show you something, and then I kept calling you, and you weren't there. So I'm like, oh shit. So I texted you. Sure enough, you were gone.
Well, yeah, that's what I mean. Well, mine's not like that, though. So yours is like
You're not like that. You're like, you left? Oh my gosh, you don't love me. Where'd you go?
No,
how come you didn't tell me? What's going on? Who's there? Blah, 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 blah.
Yeah, what did you do? Why did you do that? Where are you going? And I don't know how long you're going to be gone for, where you're going. But you're like that with so many things. Like, you're so, like, vague with things. Like,
what do you mean?
No,
I'll
like, ask questions about stuff, and you'll be like...
I literally don't know what you're talking about.
Like, different jobs you've had or different things like that. Like, you get all vague sounding. Okay, well, so there's a lot of mystery.
No, there isn't a lot of mystery. I don't know why you want to... You know the job I have now.
Oh, I know your job now, yes.
So
that's not what
the stuff said, is it? The stuff that I was doing before we were married is... I don't even understand why you feel the need to talk about that.
See what I'm saying? Like, that's weird, right? Like, most people in relationships, they kind of know, like, the person's history. That's weird.
Well, I mean, you're...
There we go. Hi, ladies and gentlemen.
You're an intelligent young woman, and I'm sure you can piece things together. But you're just weird about it.
But I want you to tell me.
Like, if it was vice versa, I wouldn't care.
Yeah, I know, but I think that's weird. Like, I feel like the majority of people in a relationship, they would want to hear their partner say, hey, X, Y, and Z. Like, yeah, I think I've pieced stuff together. I think I've figured it out. But
okay,
I want to hear from you.
Anyway, I just think you have a fear of the unknown, and I think that
Yeah.
you want to eliminate as many unknowns as you possibly can. We will talk about something like that's going to happen next year, and then you'll say, we can't do it because da-da-da-da is a problem.
Yeah.
And I finally had to say, I really don't like bringing up an idea and then hearing all the reasons why it can't happen.
Yeah, there was somebody in my life that used to do that all the time. I was like, oh, so why? And then you know what I figured out? If I brought up the same idea and then I said, I wanted to do this, but there's all these reasons why it's not going to work. Then the person would take the opposite. They'd be like, actually, I think it will work. And then they'd start giving me all the reasons why it would work, all the solutions. So it's just about, maybe present it to me that way. Be like, oh, I wish we could have done this, but there's this, and this.
Well,
No, it probably won't work because I'll be like, yeah, you're right. Let's not do that. Let's just go hang out.
well, I don't, as I've analyzed some of the arguments we've had, because some of it,
We don't argue.
and I'll say to you, I don't think that I don't think that you're all the way crazy. I think I'm so extreme.
Thank you for that.
But we've said it. I've said it. I said I'm so extreme on one side.
Yeah.
And you're so extreme on the other side.
Yeah.
That it creates a lot of,
It does.
because you can do.
Yeah.
But see,
know.
you've done things like you've got up and gone off for a run. Like you do random things. Some days you'll go for a run, some days you won't. You'll have a 2 to 3 day stretch where you go for a run, sometimes you don't. And it has nothing to. And then I'll come back and hear a story while we're shooting about how some dude was following you and all that shit. You never told me that.
Well, we were in the middle of a fight.
So it's like.
But yeah, I see what
It's
you're
like, you're a grown ass woman. I'm not gonna tell you So, but I'm so extreme on one side where you could go drive off in a car with 10 dudes. I wouldn't care unless you were, just make sure that you're strapped and you can defend yourself. But other than that, I wouldn't even ask you any questions. I wouldn't say, but you would be like, well, who was there? Blah, blah, blah. How tall? Blah, blah, blah. So and so and so and so there and blah, 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 blah. And, you've got a very you've got to know everything, so it's so we're both so extreme on because I probably should ask you questions. Why were you in that car with all those people and all that? I probably should do that, but I really wouldn't be inclined to. I would be like, we got to shoot the next video.
Yeah, I think that's not common. I think most
I wouldn't care.
married people would
Yeah.
ask those questions.
Right. Yeah. I think, do you interpret my lack of desiring to control you as not loving you or not being interested?
Yeah, sometimes, yep.
I'm very interested in you. I'm just not very interested in those conversations. Because I just wasn't raised that way. Anything could happen at any time growing up. Literally anything could happen. So, it's not that I don't care. It's just that any randomness that you put into my life is nothing compared to the way that I grew up. Mm-hmm. Or forget the way I grew up, just the way that I've lived my life, period.
Your entire life.
There's,
And my life has always been rigid. Every system I've been in has been rigid.
Right.
So it's going from a major life change to then it feels like chaos. Even though I think that if people were to look at our schedule, they'd be like, well, it's pretty predictable.
Well, that's my argument. My argument is our schedule's pretty fucking predictable. We're going to shoot 2 shows a day. We're going to hang out. We're either going to do a fireside. We're going to play Madden. I'm going to play with Homeboy, or I'll play with Dorian, and then we're going to watch our show, whether it's Vikings or Orange or whatever. So it's there's a lot of things that are pretty.
Well, you know how I do that thing where there'll be something that happens one time, and then I'm like, this always happens. You're always doing this. So the random things that happen feel like that they're all the time. So then I'm like, this is always happening. It's just, it can any minute, any moment.
Are you sick like me? Am I beautiful? As I tear you to pieces. See,
Well, I feel like that sometimes. When I'm talking to you, I'll be like, are you mad at me? Do you hate me right now? Are you mad at me? So I understand the and I always feel like you must think I'm really ugly right now when I'm when you're not happy with me. So that part makes sense. I know it sounds kind of crazy. I hate putting out my crazy for people to hear.
Well, I don't think. There's a reason songs are written like this. Obviously, I didn't go into the relationship thinking we're not going to have any fights ever. Mm-hmm. We have fights all the time. We're both two very, very strong-willed people. So, like, I don't have a problem with it. I don't think that it doesn't change my perception of you. But I never felt like, I've never felt torn to pieces.
Maybe because when I get like really mad at you, it changes my perception of you in that moment.
Yeah, you're like that. You're like very, very conditional in how you are and like the way that you love, which I understand. You know what I mean? Like, I get that.
What do you mean you get that? How do you get that?
Well, I understand that you're very conditional. You know, but that's how you think God is. So, like, if you're doing good, you think God's good with you. If you're doing bad, you think God's mad at you, and blah 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 blah.
Yeah, I'm trying to like grow past that.
So, like, if that primary relationship operates that way, then of course you're gonna be that way with me. Mm-hmm. So I know, like, okay, she loves me now. She doesn't really love me that much right now. Or she's angry, or she thinks I'm the greatest person in the world. But I'm also used to people going, "Oh, you're the greatest. Oh, we should murder you." Like, that's my whole life. But like me,
well, no, a lot of times, like, there are like specific times where all of a sudden, like, I felt like I was so angry. Remember that one time that I got really, really angry?
Yeah, I remember.
But we like knew what was going on with that. That's like something different. But like all the other times, like, I'll be upset with you, but I don't not love you. Actually, a lot of times I'm upset with you and I want you to come hug me.
Well, I don't think that you don't love me per se. I just think that your feelings towards me or whatever are just different. It's just not something that...
It depends on what it is. Like, if it's, like, something where I'm feeling, like, really insecure, well, then, at that point, then I pull in so that way I don't have to feel so much of that.
Yeah.
But if it's other things, like, I'm just, like, there's some times where we're, like, fighting about something, and in my head, I, like, hear myself tell you that I love you, and I'm like, but I can't say that right now, like... And so I hate having to only, like, say that, like, in certain moments. Like, I want to be able to tell you that even... But then it would be, like... Because, like, I don't like fighting at all. Like, I hate it. And so then when it's happening, I just want to escape out of the situation and not keep fighting. And so to, like, already be in that place where I feel like crying because we're fighting, and then to, on top of that, say I love you, and then if... I just don't even know how you would even react to that. Like... Because even, like, when I say I'm sorry, sometimes you're, like, you just, like, blow it off.
Well, like, what do you mean when you do it, like, 5 hours later?
Well,
After I get checked out from the hospital?
Stop that.
Well, I don't...
He's lying. I've not ever done that. That's ridiculous.
I don't, like, I don't really perceive, like, a lot of our disagreements to be, like... The ones that affect me the most are, like, the ones where something happens and then you get insecure and then, you know, you get closed up. Because I still haven't found a way to navigate that yet, because I'm like, oh, she's trying to control me, and I hate, I hate being controlled, and I don't do that to you, so why are you doing that to me? And, you know, you blah, 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 blah. Like, because you and I will do the exact same things. And me, I'll be like, yeah, that's cool. But then... Literally, it's the same thing, but with you, like, it's raw. So, like, I have a hard time with that, because I'm like, yo, what are you doing? You know, and then there's the whole, you know, you hate men thing and all that. So, like, you know, it's and you're racist. I'm just messing with you. So it's a strange thing, but I never feel like torn to pieces.
You know what, though? I will say that the man hatred stuff has actually, being a part of the village has actually helped with that. I mean, like, the comment section, you know, people will say some things that I'm like, that is why I hate men. You know what I mean? Like, why do you have to bring somebody's sexuality into something that has nothing to do with their fucking sexuality?
I know it.
But that's, like, the way that it is, like, as a woman, like, it's always being brought into situations, and,
right.
So it's just very frustrating. But, like, the interactions, like, I do a lot of the talking to the people on Patreon.
Right.
And, like, I'm assuming the majority of them are male. And, like, nobody has been, like, at all, like, disrespectful or, like, just gross.
They're all atheists.
Yeah.
You only got mad at the Christians.
Yeah.
We got this, like, ridiculously amazing gift yesterday. I said, guarantee you it's the atheist.
Yep. Read the note.
Guaranteed.
Atheist.
Guaranteed. If the person would have said they were a Christian, I would literally have been surprised.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah, so it's...
So the atheist men are redeeming manhood for Sori.
Yeah, isn't that wild?
It's not wild to me at all. They haven't, a lot of these people are reacting to the bullshit that evangelicalism fed them.
That's true. Yeah.
So,
So you guys are helping me, so thank you for that.
Yeah, they rejected that shit wholesale. Like, no, women are actual human beings.
Yeah.
Imagine that.
Yeah.
With thoughts and ideas.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So, yeah, it's an interesting thing about relationships where it's like, part of my theory, part of one of the things that I'm trying to accomplish in our relationship is like, can there be a relationship where it's like completely mutual and there's no control mechanisms whatsoever? So, because you had a ton of control and power in your previous relationship.
Yeah, I just didn't know that I did. Like, now I realize it.
Yeah.
I didn't know then, though.
So it's like...
Yeah.
And there seems to be that pattern where there's like a dominant person in the relationship. So it's like, I'm trying to get there, but then I also think like... Is my application of lack of control so extreme as to like be a destabilizing effect so that we can't get there together? You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So it's like if I would like dial some things back and like create some sort of like stability and stasis, and maybe we could like mutually work through that and communicate. But I've never felt
I don't know.
I've never felt torn to pieces in any of our conflicts, but at the same time, the other relationship I was in was like...
Oh, yeah, I know.
It was like literally like...
I know.
Blood, sweat, and tears. Like, people have no idea.
Yeah, right.
So...
Right.
So I'm comparing that to that, and
right.
To me, it's like...
Right.
What are you talking about? Because you'll come back and you'll apologize. Like, oh... and I'm making your life so hard, and I'm like...
Oh. So terrible.
What are you talking about? I like when you go off. I think it's.
It's funny because there's.
You gotta. I'm sorry. Go ahead.
No, go ahead.
Because you just got years of backed up repression, and I feel like some of it is just gets taken out on me to some degree.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And I'm not. I to me. It's not like, oh, yes, I'm good with taking all of this, backed up repression. To me, it's just like, eventually you're going to be able to, like, make peace with it. Because there's...
It's such a long process.
Well, I mean...
Because there'll be, like, things that, like, because you're like, oh, communicate, and I'll be like, oh, my word, I probably should tell him this right now. No, I'm not going to say this to him because, like, I feel like I'm just whining about everything. And then...
Yeah, you'll say that.
So then I just feel like, he does this like, I don't know, it's like a relaxing thing. I was going to say nervous thing, but I actually think it's a relaxing thing. We like shake your leg.
Yeah.
And so we'll be just like chilling in the bed and you'll be like shaking the leg, but your leg is on me. So my whole body is shaking. And then I feel like I'm going to throw up. And so I'm like, I could either tell him to stop shaking or I could just move away from him. And so I don't want to move away from you, but I don't want to command you to stop moving your body if that's relaxing to you. You've been working 2 jobs, like you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So then I don't say anything, but then I like start feeling like I'm gonna get sick, or I start feeling annoyed because my body is shaking and I don't want my body shaking. So like stuff like that. So then I'm like, but there's already so many things that I'm like, I don't like this. I'm not comfortable with this. And
there isn't a lot of things.
Well,
that's another conversation we've had where. You're like, oh, I'm like, you're not always. I'm like, there's only 2 or 3 things that we actually have a conflict
that come up a lot.
yeah, but like you're not always complaining.
Well, it feels like I am because you got to understand, in all of the past relationships that I've ever had, like I'm not even saying just like romantic relationships, but relationships in general. Like I didn't voice any of my issues or complaints or anything with people. I kept that all in. So I was like this easygoing person, and like I always heard like, oh, like that the girlfriend that like lets you do what you want and like is not like over stressful and stuff like that. Like I didn't want to be that super stressful girlfriend, so I would always keep like stuff internal until there was some stuff that I was like, okay, I'm not good with this. But like even relationship, all my relationships I never voiced, except for with my mom. With my mom, that was probably the only place that I'd actually voice how I really felt about something.
But yeah, like, and you're like, oh, I'm causing you so much stress. Like, you're not like, you're not tearing me to pieces, and you don't cause me any stress when we have a disagreement. There have been disagreements that we've had where it's changed the way that we operate as a couple.
Yeah.
So,
yeah.
like, I look, I like them, and there's a cluster of things that we disagree on right now that we're trying to work. We're blending families, we're running a business, we're doing this, we're doing that. Even to the minutia of, what's your logic in doing this and what's your like I feel like all of those things are constructive. Like I never feel like you're coming after me just to fuck shit up.
Oh, okay.
I've never thought to myself, oh, here we go. She's just trying to fuck shit up. Like, there's something that's pretty predictable. I know if X thing happens, a Y thing is going to happen. I know it definitively. And that's why, if you don't notice, most of the time I initiate those discussions. Because if I say, what's wrong with you? I know exactly what's wrong with you because X and Y thing just happened. So, I want those discussions.
I hate saying it, though.
I want those discussions because, like, we've got to keep going around that mountain until we are able to figure it out. And a lot of times when we're talking back and forth, I'm always thinking to myself, like, okay, Vin, like, you're on the extreme over here. Remember that. That's why we had a conversation in the car on Monday, where we were driving and we were talking about, like, control and all this, and I was like, well, I'm on the complete other end of the spectrum. So that's got to get factored in because I loved my mother, but I perceived her to be very, very controlling. And so I endured a lot of shit because I wouldn't let myself get controlled. I got, we had these just giant epic battles at home, and she's a Jamaican parent, so that didn't mix well.
Right.
Shit would come flying at me. So then when I chose somebody to be with, I chose somebody who was very disengaged and didn't care about where I was going and what I was doing. Right? And I think also that she trusted me. She knew who I was as a person. So I'm like extremely like on the other end here where you came up in a controlling environment, but it doesn't seem that you reacted to it the same way that I did. It seems like you made peace with it by like exchanges of different versions of control. And here I am saying, hey, everything is wild and crazy. And you're like, whoa, hey. You know what I mean? So, like, I don't assume bad faith. Like, that's a growth. But that was an area of growth for me. Because if it was, you were the only person I would ever stop and think to myself, yes, this is controlling, but the person is not a bad person. Because I immediately equated any form of control with being a bad person. And you're the first person I even considered, well, this is not a bad person, and why are they doing it? Like, I never even stopped to consider why my mom was the way that she was in regard to that aspect of her life. But you're exactly like her. For better or for worse, right? So it's like, now with you, like, I obviously, because I admire you so much, and I look up to you so much. So then when you have this thing, I'm like, well, there must be Sori's doing, well, it's different. It must be a reason. So then we have a conversation, and so like I'm constantly like working through trying to figure out like what the third way is and on how to handle that and like where, my mentality's off. Because there's never been a segment in my life that's ever been like normal or standard. It's and it's not been like a little bit weird. Like it's been like 0.05% of the population literally would be able to relate to my life. So, I have to factor that into, our relationship now. It's like, well, you're here, you're not going anywhere, like, there you are, like, all right, time to adjust, like, so, yeah, anyway, it's interesting.
It's weird because, like, when we were friends, like, my word, I trusted you like I had never trusted anybody before. Like, I felt like I understood, like, who you were and stuff like that.
Right.
And then, like, once, we got in a relationship, then that's when it was, like, different for me. All of a sudden, I was like, well, wait a minute. I don't know if it's because there was more at stake. I don't know. I don't really know what it was. But, like, something switched. Like, when it went from friendship to relationship.
Yeah.
And then all of a sudden, like everything started feeling like, oh my gosh, what about this? What about that?
Yeah.
Where those things didn't. So I don't know why that happened or why I still whatever, but.
Yeah. I mean. Yeah, I think both of us like put all our chips on the table with each other, so losing each other would be pretty fucking terrible at this point. But I'm just confident that, that's not going to happen. On your side. You know what I mean? Like, I'm not afraid of that with you. So my only thing is, like, the more that you worry about it, the less time that you actually have to enjoy the person.
Oh, no, I think about that too. It's, well, both things. One was that you lose actual time because you're worrying and you can't enjoy when you worry.
Right.
And then the other thing is, like, what we were saying the other day is oftentimes the thing that you're most worried about when you're freaking out about it or panicking about it or trying to create ways so something will never happen, you end up, it's like a self-fulfilling prophecy, and it makes it so that way those things actually do happen. Because you drive somebody away or whatever, like, so, I don't know.
Yeah. But you're not going to drive me away no matter what you do. Huh?
I said,
huh? But, anyway. Good song. What do you give the song?
Oh, 10. I loved it. I could, this one, okay, I think this is the first time that, like, I've, like, thought this. I was like, this one, I would go down myself and buy myself this CD, like, of these people. Like, I like this stuff. Blast it in the car that much.
P.O. Box 7024. Lewiston, Maine. 04243. It's a 9 for me. It's a good song, Good song. Very true to life. So, good discussion.
Wait, one more thing. I want you biting down on me. What do you think she meant when she said that?
I think that's probably her inclinations when.
Okay, that's what I kind of thought.
Coitus is occurring.
Oh, interesting. If people like that, let's go. Babe, can you sign out? I'm showing all our cards.
Can't believe you brought that up. In, out.
Story out.
Gone.